Welcome to Chemistry Academy, Fajandar High School and Junior College, Wahur. Dear student, our current topic is elements of group 15, elements of group 16, 17 and 18. So far, in case of elements of group 16, 17 and 18, we have studied only electronic configuration. What is general electronic configuration for group 16, group 17 and group 18 elements? And after the general electronic configuration, we have discussed the condensed electronic configuration of group 16, 17 and 18. Now, how to write the condensed electronic configuration? While writing the condensed electronic configuration, first write the noble gas element before that. Okay, suppose I have to write the condensed electronic configuration of oxygen. So oxygen atomic number is 8. Now before oxygen the noble gas element is helium, so write helium, then its general electronic configuration, okay, and find out from which period that oxygen belongs. Now oxygen, it belongs to period number 2. Likewise, we have written the condensed electronic configuration of 3 groups. One is here group 16, group 17 and group 18. Now after condensed electronic configuration of group 16, 17, 18, the simple part which we are going to start, that is physical properties of group 16, 17 and 18. Physical property of 3 groups. Physical properties of 3 group. One is your group 16, 17 and 18. Now we will start from group 16. Physical property of group 16 element. Now in case of group 16 elements, the elements present are oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and last one is your polonium. Now these are the 5 elements belongs to group 16, you know, and this group is called as oxygen family or this group is called as chalcogen family. Now physical property. Actually this topic belongs to inorganic chemistry. Maximum part आप लोगों को याद रखना पड़ेगा. It is theoretical based concept. Okay, now start करो. Physical property from oxygen. Now here oxygen, it is gas and all other elements are group are solid at room temperature. Now our first point, oxygen, it is a gas and all other members of group are solid at room temperature. First physical point. Now second point, oxygen. Now this is first point. Here second point, oxygen and sulfur are non-metals. Oxygen and sulfurs are non-metal. Then selenium and tellurium are metalloids. Okay, metalloids. And last one, polonium, it is a metal. Now second physical property of this group, oxygen and sulfur non-metal. Selenium and tellurium are metalloids and polonium, it is metal. What is non-metal, metalloids, metal, its characteristic आप लोगों ने सब ये 10th और 11th में स्टडी किया है. Okay, so this one is the second physical property. Now third physical property, amongst group 16 elements only polonium is radioactive. Yes, amongst group 16 elements only one element is radioactive. And which element is radioactive? Polonium, with its half-life period 13.6 or 13.5. With its half-life period 13.6 or 13.5. So this is the physical property of group 13.8. This is the physical property of group 16 elements. What is the physical property? First point, oxygen, it is gas. All other members of groups are solid at room temperature. Second property क्या था उसका? Oxygen and sulfur are non-metals. Selenium and tellurium are metalloids. Polonium, it is metal. Now third physical property, amongst group 16 only polonium it is radioactive with half-life period 13.8, and last physical property of group 16 element, that is all members of group exhibits allotropes. Yes, all member of group exhibits allotrope या allotropy. Now allotropes or allotropy means the same elements exist in two or more state. Same elements exist in different two or more state, like carbon in the form of graphite, carbon in the form of diamond, carbon in the form of fluorine. So this diamond, graphite, fluorine are the allotropes of carbon. So what is the allotropes? The same element exists in two or more different state, different forms, that is called as allotropy. So this is the first point, that is physical property of group 16 element, that is oxygen, sulfur, selenium, and next one is your tellurium and polonium. So note down this point, a simple concept is there. Okay, oxygen and sulfur are non-metals, selenium and tellurium are metalloids, and polonium it is metal which is radioactive with half-life period 13.8. Now the next part start physical property of group 17 element. Now group 17 it is called as halogen family, and which elements are belongs to halogen? So we can say fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. Okay, these are the elements belongs to group 17, that is called as halogen family. Now while writing the physical property of these element, our first point here, fluorine and chlorine are gases. Fluorine and chlorine are gases. Okay, bromine it is liquid. Bromine it is liquid, and iodine it is solid at room temperature. Iodine it is solid at room temperature. What is the physical property? First physical property of halogen family. क्या है पहला physical property? Fluorine and chlorine are gases. Then bromine it is liquid. Iodine it is solid at room temperature. Now second physical property related to the color. Now fluorine it is yellowish or yellow in color. Chlorine it is greenish yellow or greenish in color. Bromine it is red in color, and iodine it is violet in color. Iodine it is violet in color, which is a solid state, which is in solid form. Okay, so second physical property of halogen family, fluorine it is yellow. Okay, chlorine it is greenish yellow, bromine it is red, iodine it is violet in color. So this is the first physical property of halogen family, and this one is your second physical property of halogen family. Now the next point, next physical property here, fluorine and chlorine. Here fluorine and chlorine react with water. Yes, it react with water means it is soluble in water. फ्लोरीन एंड क्लोरीन रिएक्ट विथ वाटर मीन्स इट इज सॉल्युबल इन वाटर. जैसे क्लोरीन वाटर आप लोग यूज करते हैं ना फॉर प्यूरिफिकेशन ऑफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर. Okay, to make the water potable, chlorine water is used, chlorine is used, so it is a soluble in water. But the bromine and iodine are partially or we can say sparingly soluble in water. Completely soluble नहीं होते, it is partially or sparingly soluble in water. Now fluorine, bromine and iodine are completely soluble in organic solvent. काय में completely soluble होता है? It is completely soluble in organic solvent. And what are the organic solvent? In which organic solvent that bromine and iodine are completely soluble? So we can say here carbon tetrachloride. Our first one is here carbon tetrachloride, we can write here benzene, we can say chloroform. Now all are the ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट. ये सब क्या है तुम्हारे ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट. एंड व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट? टू डिसॉल्व द सॉल्यूट. ओके, नाउ दिस इज द थर्ड फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ ग्रुप 17 elements, that is fluorine and chlorine react with water. Chlorine, it is soluble in water. Bromine and iodine are partially, half, sparingly soluble in water, and it is completely soluble in organic solvent like carbon tetrachloride, benzene, chloroform, hydrocarbon, butane, hexane. All are the examples of organic solvent. Now the most important part or physical property of group 17 element is bond dissociation energy. Most important part, bond dissociation energy. Now the energy required to dissociate the bond, to break the bond. Energy required to dissociate मतलब to break the bond. अब we are studying halogen family, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, now here बॉन्ड डिसोसिएशन एनर्जी का जो ऑर्डर रहता है, हियर द Cl बॉन्ड इट इज मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर देन Br बॉन्ड विच इज मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर देन FF बॉन्ड एंड विच इज मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर देन I बॉन्ड. व्हाट इज द बॉन्ड डिसोसिएशन एनर्जी ऑर्डर? अब इसका बॉन्ड डिसोसिएशन एनर्जी ऑर्डर क्या आएगा? Cl बॉन्ड इज मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर देन Br bond, because all are the diatomic molecules. Halogen family are diatomic molecule. Fluorine is present in the form of F2, dimes 2. Cl कौन से फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट रहेगा? Cl2, Br2, I2. So these are called as diatomic molecules. Okay, so here the bond dissociation energy मतलब कौन सा बॉन्ड ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्गर रहेगा? Cl बॉन्ड देन Br देन FF बॉन्ड. नाउ द क्वेश्चन में अराइज हियर, व्हाई द बॉन्ड डिसोसिएशन एनर्जी इन योर ग्रुप फ्लोरीन इज द फर्स्ट मेंबर. Fluorine is the first member, but why the bond dissociation energy of fluorine is less as compared to chlorine? Why the bond dissociation energy of fluorine is less as compared to chlorine? मतलब fluorine bond weaker रहेगा as compared to Cl bond. Why? This question may arise in your examination or in your entrance examination. Why the fluorine bond is a weaker bond, या bond dissociation energy of fluorine is less as compared to the bond dissociation energy of chlorine? This question may arise. Now here the first and important part, atomic size, the distance. Atomic size means we can say the distance. Here when we will move from top to bottom, अब जैसे मैं top to bottom move करूंगा from fluorine to iodine, atomic size goes on increasing. आपने स्टडी किया 11th में, atomic size क्या होगा? Increase होगा. Why the atomic size increase? You know. Still that part I will try to repeat in my next video lecture when we will study the trends in periodic table of these three groups. उस वक्त मैं आपको बताऊंगा. Now here fluorine has less atomic size as compared to chlorine. Fluorine has less atomic size as compared to chlorine. मतलब किसका atomic size ज़्यादा है? chlorine का. That is first factor. Now second factor, bond dissociation energy of fluorine is less as compared to chlorine. उसका second factor रहता है, in case of fluorine, see this is your 1F and this one is your second F. Okay, so here the lone pair of electrons are present. Okay, the lone pair of electron on each fluorine atom, हर फ्लोरीन आइटम पर जो लोन पेयर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रहते वो क्या रहते? सो क्लोज, बिकॉज एटॉमिक साइज ऑफ फ्लोरीन इज लेस. अब एटॉमिक साइज बोलते अपन डिस्टेंस बोलते फ्रॉम न्यूक्लियस टू आउटर मोस्ट शेल. Okay, here the lone pair of electron on each fluorine atom, हर fluorine atom पर जो lone pair of electrons रहते वो दोनों के lone pair of electrons क्या रहते? close रहते. And due to that less distance, here the repulsion take place. इसमें क्या हो जाता है यहाँ पर, हेयर द रिपल्शन टेक प्लेस। अब दोनों भी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स करीब आ रहे, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर नेगेटिव चार्ज, सो डेफिनेटली वहाँ क्या होगा, रिपल्शन, रिपल्शन होगा, में दोनों फ्लोरीन आइटम क्या होंगे, मूव अवे, दूर भागेंगे। अब अगर फ्लोरीन आइटम में रिपल्शन हो रहा है एंड दैट फ्लोरीन आइटम इज मूविंग अवे, सो ये बॉन्ड क्या हो जाता है, वीकर बॉन्ड होता है। एंड एज द बॉन्ड इज वीक, लेस अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी इज रिक्वायर्ड टू ब्रेक द बॉन्ड। अगर बॉन्ड वीक हुआ तो उतनी एनर्जी कम लगती टू ब्रेक द बॉन्ड, एंड दैट्स व्हाई फ्लोरीन हैज लेस बॉन्ड डिसोसिएशन एनर्जी एज कंपेयर टू फ्लोरीन। व्हेन यू विल सी द क्लोरीन, जब आप लोग क्लोरीन का केस देखेंगे, नाउ इन केस ऑफ क्लोरीन द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन लोन पेयर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर, the distance between lone pair of electrons are large because atomic size of chlorine की ज़्यादा है। अब वो दोनों लोन पेयर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स में अगर डिस्टेंस ज़्यादा है तो उसमें रिपल्शन कम होगा एज कंपेयर टू फ्लोरीन। यहाँ पर इसका डिस्टेंस कम था इसलिए लोन पेयर रिपल्शन हुआ, यहाँ लोन पेयर का रिपल्शन नहीं होगा बिकॉज दैट डिस्टेंस इज मैक्सिमम। इफ देर इज लेस रिपल्शन, lone pair repulsion, it means that bond is stronger, and if bond is stronger, more amount of energy is required to break the bond, and that's why bond dissociation energy of chlorine is greater as compared to bond dissociation energy of fluorine। simple 2 points में उसका आंसर है। first point, atomic size of fluorine less as compared to chlorine, and second point, in case of each fluorine atom lone pair of electron is present, the distance between this lone pair of electron is minimum, less, due to which the greater repulsion take place। as a result that fluorine bond become weaker, और repulsion की वजह से bond weak हो जाता है। as the bond is weak, less energy is required to break the bond। लेकिन यहाँ क्या होता है, क्लोरीन के केस में repulsion कम होता है because the distance between each chlorine atom, lone pair of electron of each chlorine atom is large, less repulsion is there, bond become stronger, and that's why the more amount of energy is required to break the Cl-Cl bond। so this is all about the physical property of halogen family। so what is the first physical property of halogen family? now fluorine and chlorine are gases, bromine it is liquid, iodine it is solid at room temperature। second one, fluorine it is yellow in color, chlorine it is greenish yellow, bromine it is red in color, iodine it is violet। now third physical property, the bond dissociation energy of halogen family is in the order Cl2, Br2, F2 and I2। so why the bond dissociation energy of fluorine is less as compared to bond dissociation energy of iodine? that part we have discussed। now in case of physical property, the last part which we are going to discuss, that is physical property of group 18 elements, physical property of group 18 elements। now group 18 elements are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and last one is your radon। now these are the group 18 elements। now just we have discussed halogens are diatomic, हेलोजन फैमिली कैसे था, डायटॉमिक, मतलब F2, Cl2, Br2, I2। here noble gas elements group 18 elements are monoatomic। फर्स्ट फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी क्या आएगा, ग्रुप 18 एलिमेंट्स आर मोनोएटॉमिक। Now monoatomic means it is present in the form of He, neon is present in the form of Ne, argon is present in the form of Ar, it is a monoatomic molecules। second point or second physical property of this group elements, that is your group 18 elements। now second physical property is given, they are sparingly soluble in water। now they are partially or we can say sparingly soluble in water। noble gas elements are sparingly soluble in water. And third and last physical property of these elements, the melting point and boiling point of noble gas element, it is low. Melting point and boiling point of noble gas element is low. Means we can say this noble gas element can be easily liquefied. Gaseous molecule convert into liquid state, gaseous state convert into liquid state. And here the question may arise, why the noble gas element, now 0 group element, noble gas element or 18 group element has less melting point, boiling point? This question may arise. Why these elements have a less melting point and boiling point? Because noble gas elements are monoatomic. Only the or we can say intermolecular attraction between them is weak van der Waals force of attraction. ये मॉलिक्यूल में जो इंटरमॉलिक्यूलर अट्रैक्शन रहता, जो फोर्स रहता, वो कौन सा फोर्स रहता? वीक van der Waals force of attraction. And due to that weak van der Waals force of attraction, these molecules can be easily liquefied. Gaseous molecule can be converted into liquid state, and that's why noble gas element, 0 group elements or 18 group have less melting point and boiling point. So what is the physical property? What is the physical property of, yes, what is the physical property of group 18 elements? First point, all are the monoatomic molecules, gases, sparingly soluble in water, having low melting point and boiling point. Now we are saying having low melting point and boiling point. So amongst group 18, helium is the element which has a lower melting point. पूरे पीरियोडिक टेबल में सबसे कम मेल्टिंग पॉइंट किसका रहता है, बॉइलिंग पॉइंट किसका रहता है? मेल्टिंग पॉइंट या बॉइलिंग पॉइंट हेलियम का. एंड व्हाई दिस नोबल गैस एलिमेंट हैज़ अ लोअर मेल्टिंग पॉइंट एंड बॉइलिंग पॉइंट? क्योंकि उनमें जो इंटरमॉलिक्यूलर अट्रैक्शन रहता, दैट इज वीक van der Waals फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, और वो इतना वीक रहता कि दिस गैसियस मॉलिक्यूल कैन बी इजीली लिक्विफाइड या कन्वर्ट इनटू लिक्विड स्टेट. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द फिजिकल property of your group 16, 17 and 18 elements. Okay, so this is all about our third video lecture of this topic, that is physical property of group 16, 17 and 18. Now in next video lecture we will discuss what is the trend, or we can say what is the trend in properties like electronegativity, ionization potential, electron gain, enthalpy in group 16, 17 and 18. Thank you.